sorry about that. That was the wrong button. Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and undifferentiated amorphous blobs. Today is Saturday. This is the Salted Grump, also known as Selnar or K. Wilson, and we are continuing on with Tales of Berseria. Our plan for today is to go through all of Chapter 3 at a relatively sedate pace, and most of which will just involve, well, Velvet and her steadily growing crew of misanthropes, reprobates, and pirates into basically murdering everything in their path. As a result of this, well, as usual, I play single screen because I do not have the physical room for two monitors, so I cannot actually monitor the chat. And as a result, I do apologize, but any questions or snark will have to be, well, saved until after the fact. I do apologize for that. If someone pops in for commentary as well, I'll get them to read the chat for me because I'm that much of a jerk to them. Anyway, thank you very much, and, well, let's start the game. Let me just grab my PS4 controller that I have hooked up, and we'll get going. So we last left off with our escape ship that we used to get away from the city of Helavis after lighting most of the city on fire. Well, we ended up meeting a bunch of pirates on the Van Eltia, which is that big ship with the red sails and such in the background over there. I'll walk over in a moment to show it off. But we have a couple of people we need to talk to before we can actually continue on with this quest, so let's get to chatting.
Tragically, your favorite witch is neither a sailor nor a warrior. All she can really do is look on.
No argument there.
Is the Gate of Vortigern really something that impressive, Dial?
They've got a fortress and a patrolling fleet, but the gates is the real show. Even a battleship couldn't blast its way through that thing.
Is there no sea route that avoids the Narrows?
There is, so to speak, but it's a long way out into the open sea. We just end up shipwrecked.
So we have some hints of a larger issue with the pirates over there. Though, on the flip side, their ship will come in handy for the, well, honestly, this isn't really a spoiler, for the rest of the game. It's very much a matter of all we have to do is help them out this once and they become our loyal lackeys for the rest of the game. Wahahaha. We do have a merchant here, part of the pirate crew, so we can buy stuff if need be. May as well see what he has, and then talk to Benwick to actually kick things off. As you can see, there's usually some variety of items floating about, but it's honestly not that many at the moment. Most of this stuff is just basic crap we got from earlier areas, so it's really just filling in the gaps, so to speak.
And what are you folks planning anyway?
Like I said, we're getting through that gate. If you're not helping us, then the conversation's over.
Is it possible to get through?
If the first mate says he'll do it, he'll do it.
You sure put a lot of faith in him.
He's a Moloch, isn't he? That doesn't matter. He's got the captain's blessing, and that's enough for us.
Couldn't you ignore the Narrows and just sail around?
Not now. We lost both our compass and several of our crew in an earlier attack.
Compass?
Huh.
But in the end, we're pirates. If someone blocks our way, we can't just fall back.
And that's what makes a pirate, huh? The pirates share our goal. I don't think we have any choice but to band together.
True enough. If forward lies destruction and backward lies doom, sideways is your only option!
And yet you don't feel like helping out.
I sure don't.
That Moloch isn't all he seems. Who knows what's up his sleeves?
The kid's a Moloch too. Hey boy, you sense anything?
We both have ulterior motives. In any case, let's go after him.
And this I forgot about, but it looks like our lizard buddy Dial here has an optional conversation, so let's actually twig that as well, just for good measure.
I know you probably won't listen to me, but you shouldn't get involved with Ifrit's pirates. Ifrit is the fiercest, most villainous pirate in all the seas. Every sailor trembles at his name.
For a demon, you're pretty wimpy.
Demon or not, scary is scary.
So this Ifrit is that tough?
You bet. Rumor has it he's an unrepentant troublemaker and is as strong as an ogre. His gang are all fearless, wild rogues. They've turned the tables on the Royal Navy time and time again. And best of all is their ship, the Von Eltia. She's a legend that's traveled to distant lands across the sea.
Nice. Sounds like I'd get along with them just fine.
You seem to know an awful lot about them yourself.
Well, it's just that every sailor dreams of being as wild and free as Ifrit and his pirate crew.
I guess.
Hey, I can dream, can't I? Demon or human or even lizard, we all got our fantasies.
And so, onwards we go. This is going to be a combat area, and honestly, after the rather piss-poor showing I produced in the previous stream regarding the actual boss fights and such, normally I would grind like a absolute bastard in here. But that's no fun to watch, so we're going in unprepared! Yay! Anyway, let's keep on going. And up on the roof there are our newest enemies, plant types, couple of spiders, and over there is a scorpion enemy, which is pretty easy to kick around, so let's get going on that.
Always ready to fight.
Your style is really unique.
Just wait until I pull out the good stuff.
You better be ready. We're finished here. Let's go.
Always ready to fight.
We're finished here. Let's go.
So yeah, the loot isn't really much, but sometimes you just want to beat the shit out of something. And honestly, this is one of those days. I had a really bad morning, so what the hell, may as well just kill shit for shits and giggles, right? As you can see, enemies have a finite aggro range. Despite the fact that the spider is technically aggroed on me, it will not leave its chamber, which is this, well, large-ish room. And even then, well, it does not go near the edges, so you can always just scrape around the walls instead of having to pick fights if you choose to. In this case, that's actually what we're going to be doing. We will be scraping walls instead of picking fights left, right, and center, simply because of the fact that, well, as mentioned, excessive fighting kind of gets boring, and especially when there's nothing really to talk about. The game's combat system is well thought out, but honestly, there's just nothing to talk about when it comes to actually building the combat system, because it's all been done before, and frankly, well, the most interesting part, being able to customize your own combo streaks, is usually overpowered just by mashing the X button on the PS4 controller, due to the fact that the AI can usually decide better for utilizing which attack the enemy is weakest to, based upon elemental and type affinities. So, it's... I guess you'd say it's a bit of a... I'm trying to search for the right word. It's not quite a lost feature, but it's a feature that is very much streamlined for the person who wants to put in the amount of effort that they feel is worth it. In this case, I'm not putting in much effort into sussing out all the intricacies of the combat system, because really, it's not necessary. The combat system is robust enough and intuitive enough within its own context sensitivity that you really can just play through the game entirely just by mashing buttons, if you so want to. Though there's an incredible layer of depth underneath that allows you the freedom to pick and choose and generally customize yourself in a fight, even in the middle of a fight, for that matter, with the options ability to, well, go into your arts and basically pick and choose what you want, to give you the advantage or play up a disadvantage and just utilize different skills until you've mastered them, which is actually a factor in this game. The more you use a combat skill, the more powerful it gets, both on damage, but also on its ability for you to take less damage, and it's a chance of causing status afflictions, which is what gets you extra souls in your little soul bar underneath the combat meter, and that's what allows you to actually create and chain longer combo style hits in the first place. So it all adds up. Again, it's an interesting system. It's definitely one that you don't want to muck around with and you've just woken up. So I'm just running on mental autopilot for the time being. Anyway, let's continue. Sorry about that rant there. It's because I use push to talk, I have to basically take one of my hands off the controller, and I am left-handed, so that means that my dominant hand goes to the push to talk instead of keeping my thumb on the stick so we can move around while playing the game. Anyway, let us continue.
So, you've chosen to trust a pirate?
Not for a second. But if you're prepared to lend us the use of your ship and crew until we reach the capital, we'll help you.
I'll agree to those terms. But there's something I should tell you first. I bring ill fortune to all those around me. The Reaper's curse. I could flip this coin 1,000 times and still land on tails. Trying to get through the fort cost the lives of 5 good sailors. If you join up with me, I can't guarantee your safety.
Why would you go out of your way to warn us?
Even demons don't want to meet an unfair death, right? If you still want to come with me, just know the risks.
Works for me. I land on tails, I'll flip it to heads on my own.
Your name?
Velvet. This is number 2.
I'm Rokuro. A pleasure.
Eisen.
You've got a plan of attack, I'm sure. Let's hear it.
To put it bluntly, Vortigern is impregnable. It won't fall to an attack whether by sea or by land.
So, no plan?
Wait, what about both at once?
Exactly. First, we send in the Von Eltia to draw their fleet out of the Narrows. Then we slip inside and open the sea gate ourselves. The Von Eltia will then break away and rush back into the channel. We'll climb aboard and push through.
One slip and we're all as good as dead.
Then don't slip and we're not dead.
Walking with the Reaper, huh?
The plan is already in motion. Let's move. This cave leads to the fortress.
And as a result, now we have Eisen in our party, which fills up our combat roster to a full 4 people. This is a good thing because Eisen is a heavy hitter. He is one of, well, 2 of the 6 characters in the game have an AI setting of essentially up close and personal, and it just so happens that Velvet is one of them, while Eisen is the other. He is essentially going to be a tank character for the party, while Velvet is very much a heavy hitter and does not give one flying fuck about defense. So, yeah. Anyway, onwards. As is usual for any game with any sort of exploration in it, you always want to try and go off the beaten path first, because that's where you find loot.
Look at all these vines. They're too tangled to cut through.
I'm carrying some flint. Just burn through it.
Do you really think this is a good place for us to start a fire?
Normally, no. But we're also demons and Malakim. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not exactly normal ourselves.
Considering how fast those vines went up, I guess you could say they're pretty dry. Okay, so 2 paths to go, one heading up, one heading across. Let's head across first. And as you can see, with the mini-map in full deployment, this area actually has, well, a couple of corners to it, so we can explore fully. It's just, there's a little bit of backtracking. Sadly, mid and late game of this, there is a lot of backtracking later on, so it's always in your interests to explore as much as possible the first time around. So with that in mind, let's go and backtrack and, well, explore that corner, because I know full well that there's going to be a blockade on at least one of those ends. And as mentioned, and as you can see, there is, well, no path here. We do not get the ability to, well, leap across gaps like this for quite some time in game. It's, honestly, I think I got the tool required around hour 30 in my personal playthrough, so it adds up. You can see on the mini-map there is a red icon for a merchant, which means there is a merchant in this pit. And if I recall correctly, said merchant is also at the end of this dungeon tunnel. So that's our eventual goal. We just have a ways to go to get there because, well, as you can see, well, yeah, there's the 2 real paths anyway. So let's keep on going.
The kid's awfully quiet. You think maybe there's something wrong with him?
Number 2's always that way.
Stop that. Calling him by a number is cruel.
What's Rokuro mean?
Well, son number 6, technically.
Same thing then.
Not even remotely. You alright, kid?
Why didn't you say something? If Eisen hadn't noticed in time, you'd be dead.
Because you ordered me to keep my mouth shut.
That's not what I meant! Why? Why would you do that?
Whoa, take it easy, Velvet.
Let me guess, kid. You were bound by an exorcist? I thought as much. The boy's will has been sealed away. Malakim have individual personalities, just like humans. But exorcists have developed methods to seal those personalities away, so they can use Malakim as uncomplaining tools.
Will he always be like this?
Can't say. I've never seen one escape the exorcist before.
Listen, kid. Don't get ever in trouble. Speak up, okay?
Come on, Lily.
And hi there, sorry about that, just kind of concentrating on not getting my ass kicked by the AI. How you doing?
You said exorcists bind Malakim's free will.
Yeah. We've lived in this land a long time, and we're our own folk, just like humans. Only a small portion of humans, those with strong resonance, like the exorcists,
What up, Grump?
were able to perceive our existence.
Well, I'm doing alright, just in the middle of a skit cutscene, so...
Ordinary people.
Oh.
We're being robbed of our free will.
Yeah, I finally got my rig up and running, and oh, it is just fantastic.
Notorious for providing a miraculous new weapon against demons, but Malakim aren't mere objects.
Malakim aren't things?
As far as Artorias is concerned,
See what I got in my
Malakim
dispatches.
beings and humans are nothing more than tools. Everything in service to his utopia of reason. And that's all anyone is to him. Even my brother.
Anyway, sorry about that, there was just plot going on in the game and all, and as you can probably tell, I am streaming for the obvious reason of this game is fucking fun, and I steadily encourage just about everyone and their baby to actually get a copy of it. So, how you
game is
been?
this?
This is Tales of Berseria. We are on Chapter 3, which is still bloody early in the game, to be honest. There's, last I checked, there's somewhere in the ballpark of about 50 or 60 chapters. In my main playthrough, I'm pushing 50 hours in, I'm level 60-something, and I'm still nowhere near the actual climax of the game.
Wow. I'm already like 40 plus hours into Crossrays, and I've already got the Stargazer storyline complete and the IBO storyline complete. I'm going through Wing right now.
Crossrays, that's the, Gundam crossover, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I've, never really gotten into Gundam when I was a kid, so it's just very much a matter of, well, such is life in my case, but, well, my giant robot fix was mostly Battletech when I was a kid, so...
Yeah, fair enough, but yeah, my fix with that was Wing back in like the 90s. Oh god, I just realized something.
What, that I'm gonna call you a little bab?
No, I'm turning 30 next year. I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm gonna be a fucking old bitch.
You mean you're gonna be a little bab? I have you beat by a good 8 years.
Oh.
Anyway, that little chamber that we just ran into is entirely for the treasure chest, which had a life bottle in it, which is not bad because it's basically a res item. So, yay, huzzah.
Nice. EW Eagle. Yeah. Custom. Got 2 Reagan Lays Julias. I'm gonna keep them around. Oh,
Okay, and if you're watching the stream, you'll see that there is actually a cat's box in this room, which we use to, well, rescue cats, Malakim, and collect cute little items like, well, unique glasses and such for characters and all that shit. There's 58 of them in the game, and the total cost to get all of them open is in the ballpark of 10,000 cats' souls, which are those big glowy orbs that go meep when you pick them up.
Nice. Where are you streaming this thing anyway?
It's on YouTube. I poked to the stream fans tag. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna mute the audio. There on your end.
So, I actually fucked up in that fight.
These are deadly weapons.
So what happened with that fight was that I fucked up badly by letting the enemies not only get behind me, but ended up stun chaining me. I lost my ability to fire off any sort of combo attacks in that, and basically ended up standing around like a spare fucking prick for the entire fight.
Oh, God.
So anyway, cats boxes. There's 58 of them total in the game. You need 10,000 cat souls to crack them all open, and every other cat's box will give you a cosmetic item. So for example, the very first one that I cracked open gave me a 10-gallon cowboy hat, and the second one I cracked open gave me glasses.
Nice.
There is there's the fashion option within the actual option menu. I'm not going to go into it because it's got character name spoilers behind it for Malik number 2. So we're actually going to have to avoid that for a little while. My playtime on this save at 7 hours and 40 minutes, by the way, is inflated because I have done a bit of off-screen grinding in between sessions. But in general, it's also because of the fact that I sit my ass down and talk about this sort of shit when it comes up, you know?
Yeah. My total playtime right now on my game is 50 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds.
Well, that's not a bad start.
Not a bad start at all, and I'm already on stage 3 of Gundam Wing.
Okay, so looks like there is, let's see, a spider and a pod of seeds up on the roof that want to attack me. Otherwise, there's not much else in this room except for the NPC who has conversation options over there. That is a trader. That's a recurring character, I guess you would describe him as, in the Tales series known as Toidles.
Ah.
Are you a turtle demon or something?
No, you got it all wrong. I'm the White Toidles. Sorry about spooking you, Zol.
If you're not a demon, then perhaps you're a Moloch.
Nope, I'm just a plain old Toidles. Nothing more and nothing less. I'm sure you guys have lots of questions about me, but for now, I'd appreciate it if you could hold off on them.
Right. Sure, if you insist.
Much obliged.
The turtles are traveling merchants of considerable savvy. Their services could be quite useful for members of the underworld like us.
You don't say. Sounds handy.
You betcha. And at old White Toidle shop, we believe the customer's smile is what matters most. That being said, this being where it is, my prices unfortunately might be a little on the high.
Oh no, you're going to give us a bargain.
I'd love to do that, C's. But when you do's business out in remote areas like this...
I really am glad that this game does have English subtitles, but I kind of wish for a dub cast for this game, honestly.
I can't entirely deny that, but...
I just have so many memories of, like, the Wing dub, and... Oh, man, just...
And that's final.
It's just so good.
Seal the deal with a smile, too, since it matters so much to him. Like this.
Much obliged.
Well, as you probably just saw in the stream, you have just noted that the crew of reprobates that Velvet is tagging along with just basically extorted market prices out of a scammer. this actually turns into a long-term side quest and actually a bonus boss in the late game or near end game scenario, where White Toidles eventually ends up so in debt that he goes monstrously villainous and you have to beat the shit out of him.
Not surprised.
On the bright side, he does have a new piece of, well, he has a new accessory, really, for our pet Malik at the moment, which is going to be a defense boost and a minor drop in magical attack power. But that's okay. The big reason why you want to get at least one of every type of equipment is due to the mastery system in this game, because every skill you master gives you a permanent buff to the character that the skill is applied to. So, for example, this Amber Talisman that I have on screen right now, if I master it with Rokuro, who's the only character who can equip it, he gets a permanent bonus to all Earth attacks in his repertoire of 4%, which doesn't sound like much, but it adds up because masteries are additive. So this mastery, which is essentially a tier 1 mastery, 4%. Tier 2 mastery, well, that's 5 more percent. Tier 3 mastery, well, that's 8 more percent. So it adds up, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we are just about out of here, and it'll take a few seconds to show up on the mini-map, but there is a new icon on the upper right corner of the mini-map that shows where this tunnel ends, which is nice.
You sure know how to drive a hard bargain, Velvet.
What else was I supposed to do? Would you rather I devoured him and swiped all his stuff?
You're more frightening than the Reaper.
Still, that.
And of course, right now the Magnite Core trying to talk Catcher out of doing something stupid.
A lot of strange folks out there.
So I'm discovering.
He probably took one look at us and thought the very same thing.
A demon, a Moloch, and a Reaper. We've got it all.
Ain't that the truth?
One of the big things about Berseria is that Velvet, this quest is very much her quest, is also very much a matter of rehumanizing herself in a way, because she lost everything, her entire family, and after spending 3 years in hell, well, she's basically regaining a family of absolute misfits, dorks, and jackasses.
What are turtles, anyway?
Some sort of...
So, we should be getting to either the Sand Kingdom or somewhere else.
All you need to know is that they're good at peddling things.
They're probably just called turtles because they wear all those sea turtle shells on their backs. After all, Rokuro means sixth son.
I got distracted by the sea.
I
Oh
was
no, this
told
is
to
not the
say
Sand Kingdom.
something
Okay,
wrong.
we are at
So I was.
Luxembourg. Alright.
That's a title, not a name.
Huh?
Would someone just give the kid a name already?
A name? For me?
By the way, I've already recruited Lucrezia 9.
Again, I have to admit, most of my giant robot fixation when I was a kid
Right.
was courtesy of Battletech, so I know next to
Yeah.
nothing about the canon characters of Gundam. It's
Yeah.
an interesting franchise, I openly agree to that. It's just very much a matter of, well, there's only so much the brain can absorb, you know?
Yeah. I also need to figure out how to stream this game too. So that might, and I do have OBS on this computer that I have, so I'll need to figure that out. But for right now, I'm just fiddling around.
Well, I mean, to be fair, half of the fun of fiddling around is figuring out how to make things work. And OBS is pretty simple. I mean, even a reprobate like me can use it, which is what I'm using to stream Berseria, by the way. Anyway, onwards, because we're getting close to plot and then more mayhem. And over here, our actual reward for going off the beaten path once too often, we find a gold chest. Gold chests are in this game, and invariably have some variety of semi-unique equipment in them. So let's crack this open and see what pops out. Up. And that's a fresh, shiny new bag for Malik number 2.
The talkies.
Looks like Ifrit's first mate has a strange superstition.
It's just a habit. Only comes up tails anyway.
What land did that coin come from? I've never seen a coin with a goddess on one side and the Reaper on the other.
Strictly speaking, that's not the Reaper on the back. It's an image of the Demon King, Daus.
Where have I heard that name before?
Martel the goddess, and Daus, the demon king. The Book of Ragnarok, chapter 765. The Battle of Yggdrasil.
Whoa, you're awfully well read. The coin was dug up from some ancient ruins in another land. They called the place Carlin long ago. It's made from soft, ordinary gold, but they had some process to harden the metal and make it resistant to scratches.
Wow, that's a rather rare find then.
Do you like to read books?
Teresa's chamber was full of them, so I spent a lot of time reading. Ragnarok is a record of battles from the Age of Myth. I've read it several times now.
Anyway, coins like that are hard to come by. Where did you get it?
It's a long story.
Never mind then.
So, were you deciding something with that coin toss?
Not anything I can talk about yet.
Oh, I'm sorry for prying.
Honestly, that little skit is pretty much the characters in a nutshell, really.
And of course, right now, the duo Hiro bromance begins.
And meanwhile, in the actual stream that's being shown off, there's shenanigans, calumny, and a new area with creepy music.
Ooh, you can do it.
Don't get overconfident.
And now we're in the sink.
nothing.
Finally, when to get here.
Hello?
Hello there, how you doing?
I'm just annoyed because it won't let me talk while I'm watching YouTube. Give me a
Really?
second. No. I just woke up.
There's no guard. Do we just go in?
Wait. This isn't what I expected.
There's a barrier over it?
They changed the security.
You weren't kidding, were you? That
Hello?
scorpion and this barrier, all part of your curse.
Okay, let's try
I'll
it.
be lucky if
Hello?
that's the worst of it.
Yellow.
A direct
Okay.
assault would be a bad idea. What's the plan?
Down the cliff, there should be an entrance used during the fortress's construction. We'll check that.
Oh, now we get to
Think
make
with your
use of the
research.
eddies.
Had to, didn't I?
So, plot has happened, and we have to sneak in through the back way of the fortress instead of kicking down the front door.
You're right.
Oh. Well, of course. The Ares is fucking useless and they get shot down.
Is that the way in?
This one's actually guarded.
Which means there's no barrier. Let's move, everyone.
Stop. Those guards are...
Careful, they're not what they seem.
Okay, now the mission begins. The victory conditions are destroy all enemy units, and can I destroy all the beam turrets within 4 turns? Alright, should be doable. Me?
Yeah.
I'm playing Crossrays.
You wouldn't expect
Cross-
these guards to carry
What?
the demon blight.
Oh, damn it. I just accidentally missed a save in the game.
If I'd charged in, that might have turned ugly. Thank you for stopping me.
Don't thank me. He's the one who noticed the danger.
In that case, I'll be counting on you to keep watch. After all, we've got a Reaper with us. Who knows what else we'll find.
Huh?
She's saying it's all right to talk.
So,
Understood. Keeping watch.
Save. There we go. And pass.
so what's the deal with the Reaper guy?
The long and short of it is that every Malakim in the world of Berseria has a gift or an aura that affects the world around them. And Eisen's gift is very much not a gift in that it is essentially an aura of bad luck. And as a result, the people around him invariably end up dying horribly or end up otherwise being, well, absolutely fucked over.
Don't tell me, Eisen. You're the source of demon blight.
Nope. It's just our bad luck to be around when it's spread. This is what it means to walk with the Reaper.
Move over to beam cannon number 2.
It works in our favor. The enemy won't be capable of an organized response.
And we're a small group. Our mobility will be an advantage in the chaos.
So, Eisen, how do we open the sea gate?
The controls ought to be located in the upper part of the gate. We'll activate them and then send a signal.
Got it. To the top of the gate, then.
And we are now in the Vortigern Fortress. This is essentially the big dungeon of this chapter, and it is going to be an absolute pounder. This is going to be combat heavy regardless of what I do, so I will apologize in advance. I will not be able to talk very much during the majority of this, simply because of the fact that, well, I'm going to be concentrating on not getting my ass kicked up into my ears. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having to save scum on my end because I gotta get this challenge.
Always ready to fight.
There we go.
They were nothing. You better be ready.
Go.
Victory is ours.
You'll be rust on my blade.
I wish I had power like that.
I'd forget about it if I were you.
So, that brief three-enemy brawl is pretty much how this entire area goes. It is not going to be an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, good. Got one. Means I get an extra turn with sex.
Sex for my keys?
Yes.
Hey.
And I get another turn.
A battleship. Not good.
And here is a minor plot twist. There's an enemy battleship sitting at harbor.
Shit, are we gonna have to play battleship now?
Straight. It's crazy with the
Okay, so now Sadie's going.
Recently, I might not have believed it possible.
It's no sweat if you're using Malachim as tools.
If Malachim can be made a blade to fell demons, they can also be made a hammer to forge metal.
It's another way the Abbey and the Kingdom show their dominance to the people. It says, do not resist, submit.
It's disgusting is what it is.
Disgusting.
Agreed.
I mean, let's be fair, the Seagate looks absolutely amazing, but it's essentially built off of slave labor, and yeah. So,
I'm pretty sure some parts of that thing are made of Malachim.
there's that strong implication, yes. I'm showing off that, yes, you can run around the edges of these, essentially, outpost sections and all that. It's not required, but there's usually a bit of loot behind things that you can pick up. And hey, what do we have here? A grand total of nothing.
Raid. Link ups. Beautiful. Now I can go up to the next turret. Chain of support. Step. Okay, let's get Noin up here.
This door should lead to the gate.
And
It looks like
chain
we've got it
sex for a support attack.
Well, brute force is out.
Intruders!
Nice.
How dare you set foot in our domain?
Where's the key?
I am a proud knight of Midgard.
Okay.
I'm not about to yield to the likes of petty demons.
Saving.
There's nothing I hate more than someone else trying to control the direction of my life. My wheel is mine to hold. If I'm not the one steering the ship, then I'm not truly alive.
The one steering.
Indeed, and my entire life is devoted to the defense of this fortress.
Then you better be ready to accept all that happens to you in the line of duty.
Right.
Maybe it's
Supplied.
time you found out just how deep your devotion truly goes. Take it easy. There's 9 more fingers to go.
Critical.
Wait! The key
Damn.
is in the control room.
I have to reload that.
One more question. Which way to the battleship?
Straight ahead, up the stairs.
got it.
Just a little bit of arm twisting.
Thank you for handling that.
Okay, so phase change.
We need that key, but we also need to take out the battleship before it sails against the Von Elti.
Okay, so the missile pods have more range.
He's right. The control room or the docks? Which will it be?
And explode.
Let's start searching.
Okay.
Okay, and now we actually have our objective for this map. We can either go through that door and onwards to collect the key to open up the sea gate, or we can have first take out the battleship that is waiting for us. And there's a mini skid in the way, so we may as well watch the skid anyhow.
You know, you're
Okay.
pretty good with your fists, Eisen.
Alright, let's see if I can blow up this laser turret.
I feel like I've seen a lot of your crew with swords. Do you really never use them yourself?
No, not with the Reaper's curse, I don't. It likes to rear its head at the worst times. I've broken blades just by unsheathing them, and once, just as I was about to deliver a finishing blow, my blade separated from the hilt and went flying.
GG.
A sword isn't something I can rely upon when my life is at stake. I fight using only my own body. That's one less thing that can go wrong.
It's too bad you're not a swordsman. I bet we could have had a hell of a fight.
I wouldn't need a sword to make it interesting. What do you say? Want to try your sword against my curse?
Sure, if the right time comes. Just don't whine when I end up winning.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And as a result of that skit, you can see why Rokuro and Aizen are generally buddies for the rest of the game, because they're absolute hams to each other.
Well, here's where the real show starts. Do we have a plan, First Mate?
The fortress guards are almost all ordinary soldiers.
Rivals.
Just a handful of exorcists to deal with.
They went to the trouble to build
There
this
we
huge
go.
gate. You'd
Dead
think they'd
Ares.
keep it better defended.
You don't need an army of exorcists to keep a bunch of disorganized pirates under control, do you?
As long as they're fighting ordinary humans, the Royal Army would suffice.
So a few exorcists as officers is all they need.
It was built as a symbol of the Empire. But it seems Artorias is the one really giving the orders. The Abbey directs security and defense, and Imperial soldiers are under Exorcist command.
We aim for the exorcists then. The harder they are, the more fun it'll be.
Ready to bust some heads?
I'd rather cut them, actually.
And the only reason why I went through this door is to just fill in the map. This goes right back to the actual main entrance, which we could not go through in the first place because there's a magical barrier stopping anything.
Always ready to fight.
Hurt noise.
Come on, really?
Last one gets the beam saber.
So if you look way down there, you can see the enemy battleship preparing to cast off and go sailing against our ship. we're going to stop that in the most violent way possible. So, let's get on down there and see about what we can do about sabotaging it.
Nice.
Now, when I pushed that rock down, there was a loud noise from below, as shown by the game. This was the loud noise. There was a rock here on this platform that and it basically ended up getting shattered. So, as a result, it clears the path so we can actually get down to the battleship that we have to sink.
You'll be rust on my blade.
Not even worth my time.
Oh, hi, Miliardo.
How do you plan to stop the battleship?
It's equipped with large cannons. The plan is to use their gunpowder against them.
Oh look, a mini-boss!
The docks are up ahead. Like it or not, we're coming through.
Hey, wait. Are you intruders? I suppose it doesn't matter. I will cut down any who consort
Wink's
with
plot
demons.
is so good.
Face the fury of the Rangetsu sword style.
Stand aside, Eisen.
No, you stay back. I'll take care of this one.
Sorry. This prey is mine.
Let's go!
Get in my way and I'll kill you too.
Remocking the Reaper.
We're running out of time. You folks handle the ship.
Careful, Rokuro. He's...
I know. He's holding back.
Let's go.
No, he's not.
Where did you learn the Rangetsu style?
I studied directly under the Legate Shigure of the Abbey.
Lies. He'd never take on a student. Let me guess. He taught you a few things one time when he was super bored, and then crushed you with them.
So yeah, that was the mini-boss fight of this dungeon, and it turns out that now we know where Rokuro's overall objective is. Working with the Abbey. So look, serendipity. We all have a target in the Abbey.
And of course, Zex right now is pulling off the Tarkus here with the mask.
Is it done, Eisen?
We're set. It also serves as a good
And
signal.
Trace, you are one smart motherfucker.
Well, that was about the saddest practice I've ever had. but at least I learned where he is. Yo, the Abbey's my goal now too. Now I can do what I have to do and repay my debt at the same time.
Is that your doing?
What? Is there a problem?
No.
A fine companion for the Reaper.
So, it's never actually shown what Rokuro does to that exorcist, but it's very strongly implied that he dismembered the poor bastard.
Between your sword style and that giant blade you shoulder, I wonder if you've got Rangetsu blood in you.
I do. What of it?
Have you heard the name Kushiyamada? I hear they're smiths with some connection to House Rangetsu.
Siberian
we're a distant
days.
relation, a clan of kitchen knife makers. Why, are you interested in cooking?
No. I just heard they were fine blades. Thought one would make a good gift.
Don't. Kushiyamada knives are cursed. The blades themselves are excellent, but they give whoever holds one the urge to strike out at anyone and everyone. I've heard they use the blood of women they love in making their blades, but the truth is a mystery. The clan died out after they all turned on each other. The blades were all supposed to be melted down into slag.
I suppose that's why talk of them is hard to come by these days.
Such is the fate of House Rangetsu. Or maybe it's just in our blood.
Sounds like there's even more to your clan than the rumors say.
Better than there being less, I suppose.
I'll finish this quick.
No.
If you want to live,
Yeah.
get out of my way.
Oof. Oh, lovely. Cannon fodder.
Well, speaking of cannon fodder, if you look down there, you'll see that the battleship that was ready to set sail and attack our ship has now ended up slowly sinking at its moorings because of us. So, haha!
Oh, hey, Shroa. Sortie time. Let's see. Max, your sortie is 5, so the ground. I've got Noble Gundam with Albie Beardsley, Asteroid Blue Frame Second L with Guy, Damaris with Gaileo, Domon and the Burning Gundam. I may need to switch things up here. Hold up. Okay. One group is returned. So. The other ship is space only, so. Okay.
It won't open.
Definitely gonna want Orca on this party.
It's a real thick door, too. This must be the control room, right?
We'll keep
That's my
Gaelio.
guess. We need
They'll
another
be the
way
ground
in.
team.
That window would probably work if it wasn't all barred up.
It looks like a standalone building. Maybe we can find something.
And I'll keep my Sky team ready. There's no way to get him up in the air.
And huzzah! Plot infiltration complete. We can now grab the key to get the hell out of here.
This seems to be the place. Let's split up and look for
Okay.
the key.
We'll search the other room.
Shift group and mobile suit team.
Aha! Found it.
Go.
Don't get so worked up over a little thing like that. It's proof you're alive.
The bump is?
No, I'm talking about the pain.
But I'm scared of pain.
Well, kid, who isn't?
Even you?
Alright. Let's get the stage started.
Anyway, boys sure are
Destroying all
fascinated by
transport
the weirdest
units. Can you
things.
destroy the transport units within 4 turns?
You like this, right?
There we go. Oh,
I don't
fucker.
really know. But after I saw one in a book, I got a little curious about it. And I felt...
You felt excited, didn't you?
Yeah. I guess so. Do you know why the needle points north? Who figured out how to make it work? I thought that if I had one of these, maybe I could go on adventures. It's exciting.
When you feel that way, you should talk about it. About what you like and dislike. If you're happy or scared. After all, you're alive.
I'm alive.
That's just my opinion, though. Not an order. Got that?
Understood.
You found it? Now we can get that gate open.
We needed a compass too. Nice work.
Back slightly.
Thank you.
Everything's ready. Let's get our gate on.
What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
And my carry base gets leveled up.
Compass fell on my head and gave me a bump.
Let me take a look. Oh, wow, yeah, that's a big one. Bet that must hurt.
Yeah, but at least I'm still alive.
Are you saying the pain is proof that you're really alive?
That's what Velvet told me.
Well, don't worry. I'll just push your bump back down. You'll be good as new.
Wait, what?
I'm just messing with you. Don't sweat it.
Stop fooling around, you two. We have to hurry.
One-shotted.
Once we get back to the ship, just borrow some sugar and rub it on your bump. It'll make the swelling go down.
Oh, okay.
And after that little bit of plot and all, and
So won't
up,
get mad if you talk.
Okay.
and now we have yet another skit to deal with because of the fact that this game loves throwing skits at you, and they're honestly really good character development. So let's go watch that too.
Hey, let's...
You're awfully fond of that, aren't you? Still, you should keep it in your bag for now.
I'll put it in my bag.
Good.
Hey, let's see what
Oh,
you
that's a
got,
nice
Orga.
It looks made to last.
It's Moritz silk.
I've never heard of Moritz silk.
It's a fine fabric woven from the threads of the Dandarantula spider. It's got a delicate sheen, it's soft as a baby's skin, it's light and stretchable, it breathes, and it's quite durable. But that's not all. Its most fantastic quality is how it absorbs impact.
My, but you're quite the scholar.
Knowledge and experience help you sniff out the best treasure. If you go and stuff every single scrap of plunder you find into your ship, she'll keel over.
That does make sense.
What I'm getting at is, your bag is the best place for you to keep that compass stored.
Keep that thing safe. We need it. All right?
All right.
And now for a raid.
Your style is really...
Just wait until I...
I'm just smiling from ear to ear, watching all this cannon fodder get blown up.
I'll be back momentarily.
Okay.
Okay, so to recap from, well, all the various shenanigans and such, or people who have been playing their own shit and not paying attention to the stream that they're ostensibly commentating over, we are... Yes, I know, I'm being a cheeky bastard. We have managed to disable the enemy battleship in the area, which was our first objective, and our second objective, to open the sea gate, can now be completed because we have stolen the keys that allows us to actually get to the sea gate control rooms. And in short order, there is going to be the boss fight for this dungeon, which is actually going to have some major plot relevance in the cutscene immediately after it. So when that comes up, which I will warn you about, I would appreciate it if you actually paid attention to the stream for that, okay?
Okay.
All right, it's open.
What was that?
It's the Von Eltia telling us they're approaching. Hurry!
All right. We'll pop the gate open for her. Quickly.
All right. Quickly.
You're fighting the Reaper.
Let's see if you get myself a drink.
What's some next?
Sorry to cut you down.
And Rokuro with the pun that causes physical harm at the end of that fight. Ouch.
one side, yes. The gate has two
There
giant
we go.
doors side by side,
Alright.
with matching levers to open each.
Makes sense.
And that's better.
All right, let's find the other device.
And we are just about done. We have one gate left to crack open, and that's it.
Just quickly.
Yeah, just popped on here. So, yeah. Is this a PC game as well?
Yes, I am playing on PC.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you down.
Thought you were playing on the PlayStation 2.
I mean, I know some people that are so pedantic they would argue that the game looks like a PS2 game, but that's because they're assholes.
And it's open.
I mean, the design of the game have never really changed, but like, due to graphical fidelity and all that stuff, like things have changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we are getting on to the actual boss fight of this dungeon in about 30 seconds. If you remember the fort commander that Eisen proceeded to put in an armbar and break some fingers on to find out where the key was, well, he's kinda cranky at us and wants his revenge.
In other words, we're gonna go beat the shit out of him.
Again.
Yep, so here it goes. Cutscene, then fight, then another major cutscene that is very important.
I can't let you do that. This is my... This is my... This is my fortress!
So, we have a new ability now, Mystic Arts. These are essentially limit breaks. In this case, we get gauge levels by beating the shit out of stuff, and with 3 levels you can unleash an absolute ass kicker of an art.
You can unleash a Van Gogh.
Yeah, I seem to remember when I was playing Crossrays, I would get up to like either like the super high or the supercharged levels. They would have these like crazy like final like attacks or something like that. And it's just absolutely ridiculous the amount of damage that they were able to put out.
You can say that this door is barring the way to your victory, success, your mission, not yet. Shut up.
And plot cutscene. Things happen in this. This is important.
Oh no.
docks are swarming with demons. The Von Eltia will be overrun. Rats, we don't have long.
Eisen, can you signal for them to go through without stopping?
That'd keep them safe. But what about us?
We'll jump down onto it as it goes past. Is there another option? Eisen, give some kind of sign.
There's no need. The Von Eltia will sail through.
Without an order?
It was part of my plan. Welcome to the Ifried Way.
It's coming at full speed!
Let's get a move on then.
Will this really work?
Do you want the Reaper's reassurance?
Wait, what are you? Don't scare me like that.
I'm sorry. Yes! Nailed it! You're lucky Mommy lives around.
Let's go.
That was anime.
Yes, it was, but at the same time, it's plot important for two reasons. The first one is obviously that Velvet has massive amounts of PTSD and is projecting her abandonment issues upon what was formerly known as Malik Number 2, and Malik Number 2 now has a name, who just so happens to have the same name as Velvet's dead sibling.
Oh.
Yeah, this is...
Steve?
This is the type of game that has absolutely no problems with making likable characters and then twisting the knife.
It's pretty much putting the screws to them.
At least he didn't name him Teddy Roosevelt. You better not think I'm sorry.
Oh, we know you're sorry.
I'm not.
Nicely done!
You're not going to thank your savior for her crafty cannonballing?
Are you nuts? I told you to stay away from the cannons, not bang on them.
But it was fun! And everything
No.
worked out, right?
If it's that important to you, keep it safe. You wouldn't want to lose it again.
Give it. I need to set a course. Fine. You read it for me then.
Yeah.
But listen, kid. Give me one false reading and you're shark bait.
Better work hard.
What's Laffy said?
It's a name. Your name.
My name? Luffy said.
It's a fine name.
Well, it's no Magilu.
We're through the channel. Give us a course, Laphicet.
Aye, aye, sir. We're headed straight for Logres.
Now this is refreshing. Sailing into port like normal people.
Well done, boy. The sharks are gonna go hungry tonight.
Yes, I'm glad.
This won't be a problem? Docking a pirate ship here?
So, how were the northern seas, Eisen?
Fuck sharks.
Helavis and Vortigern are in ruins. Trade with Northgand will likely be disrupted for quite some time.
Well, I like the sound of that. I'll have to act quickly.
Any word of the captain?
Aye. It's an old rumor. But they say Captain Ifrid was sent to Titania.
The island prison overseen by the exorcists, huh? We'll have to look into that.
I registered your vessel as one of our merchantmen, same as always. But even so, stay on guard. There's a grand ceremony being held in Logres. Lots of watchful eyes about.
I see. So they exchange information for mooring.
Information. For mooring?
Having the latest news gives merchants a chance to make favorable trades.
So it's worth protecting a pirate.
I bet Eisen and his crew have connections like this in nearly every port.
Not even the Abbey's iron decrees can withstand the force known as human greed.
I see.
Don't bother going to Titania. You won't find Ifrid there.
And how do you know that?
Because I escaped from there. And before I did, I heard something from the prisoners. They said Ifrid was the only prisoner to ever get out alive, and that he was taken by an old exorcist named Melchior.
Lord Melchior is an elder legate at the Abbey. He should always be present at the headquarters.
Don't call him Lord.
Von Ifrid's our captain. It's starting to look like his disappearance has connections with the highest levels of the Abbey.
Their headquarters should be in the capital, right?
Yes, at the Royal Villa in Logres. I've never been there, though.
And Velvet, your business is with a man in the capital, right?
Looks like we're all headed to the same place.
I won't apologize for involving you.
Usually I'm the one who says that.
And so, that is the end of the naval fortress Vortigern, completely destroyed by a horde of demons, a giant monster, and a bunch of pirates. I want to thank you all for coming, I want to thank you all for enjoying the game, and I hopefully you enjoy it as much as I have. Oh, goddammit.
Might not have her through the gate. We're going to use her as a scouting vessel.
Do what you want. We still
So,
in the first place.
see.
A scouting vessel.
I've assigned Benwick to her. He'll give you the details.
So yeah, as soon as I decided to make a move towards the save point up at the top of the docks, there was a cutscene about a tutorial event known as, well, expeditions and such. That turns into a long-term goal in the game, so we'll talk about it next time. For now, I'm gonna save, and I want to thank you all for coming, and I really hope you enjoy the streams, I hope you enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I honestly consider this one of the best RPGs of the last decade, though, to be fair, Nier and Nier Automata beat the hell out of it in regards to how much I like the characters and all. And when it comes to this game, this is honestly the best Tales game I have ever played, both character-wise and mechanically. So that's my...
How many have you played?
Yeah, I've played a fair amount of them actually. So anyway, as mentioned, again, thank you very much for coming, and I hope you all have a great day.
You too.
Don't tell me what to do.